can Georgia election officials be jumping like cats on a hot tin roof on a summer day? Hello and welcome to another Ohio Political News Morning Update. And the Georgia Democrats are not happy. Why? Well, DOJ has taken possession pursuant to a judge's warrant of the ballots from the 2020 election. And the little Michael Jackson wannabe was out there in her little military coat saying, we don't know that those ballots won't be tampered with because they're no longer in our possession. No, but chain of custody was maintained. And how do we know that the ballots weren't tampered with in the last 5.5 years? We've had all the evidence we need. We've got video of people stuffing ballot boxes in the middle of the night. We've got the geolocation data from the cell phones of the people that were stuffing the ballot boxes in the middle of the night. We've got hundreds of thousands of ballots that should never have been certified. We've got states where there are more registered voters than adult citizens. It's a mess. We all know that 2020 was stolen. We all know that the vegetable did not get 81 million votes when the best other Democrat showing in the last 5 elections was, I think, 72 million. They averaged between 68 and 72 million. And all of a sudden, the vegetable gets 81 million? No. They used the CoronaCon to steal an election. And it's nothing new. Okay? They stole an election, a Senate election from Norm Coleman in Minnesota when Al Franken all of a sudden got elected after, and again, we've got videotape of boxes of ballots being taken out of the trunk of a car in the middle of the night. Now, why do I keep emphasizing the middle of the night? Well, if we all remember, in the middle of the night, the voting was stopped. It's never been stopped before in history, but in 5 states it was stopped. And then when it was started again, all of a sudden, Joe Biden miraculously had more votes. There was literally a vertical spike in the vote versus time curve. Joe Biden went along, Donald Trump went along, and all of a sudden, oh, there's a spike and Joe Biden's in the lead. Well, that was a big F. It was a big FU to America, and it was a big F for fraud. We all know the 2020 election was stolen, and consequences are here. Judgment Day is here. One might say the reckoning is here. It's not a Republican or Democrat issue. Republicans steal elections too. This is an us versus them issue. This is a top versus bottom issue, an up versus down issue. This is whether we have a constitutional republic, equal justice under law, or whether we have a banana republic where everything's about the man, not the law. It can't go on the way it's been going on, and it needs to end. And the only way it can end, Leader John Thune, is for the Senate to pass the SAVE Act. You have one job. Don't give me this, well, we'll see if we can bring it to a floor vote. We're awfully busy with the work of the Senate. No, there is no work of the Senate. We, the people, gave you, the Republicans, the majority in the Senate to do one thing and one thing only, secure our elections. Pass the SAVE Act by any means necessary. We don't care how you do it. We don't care if you use the standing filibuster. We don't care if you attach it to the rule. We don't care if you nuke the filibuster. For this, vote only. Get it passed by any means necessary. The fact that Chuck Schumer is in an existential crisis because of the prospects of the SAVE Act being passed tells you everything you need to know. Why are you so afraid of even walking past the levers of power, much less grasping them hard and pulling them harder? Democrats certainly don't shy away from power politics, and neither should you. And Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and Rand Paul and all the other Republicans who like to vote with the Democrats need to be whipped to toe the line by Majority Whip Tom Barrasso out of Wyoming. So Thune and Barrasso, Middle America, South Dakota, and Wyoming, all eyes in MAGA are on you two. Get it done. Now here's a story I didn't have on my bingo card. Savannah Guthrie's mother being, it looks like, kidnapped. Why? Could it possibly have something to do with the fact that Savannah Guthrie, who was supposed to anchor the NBC Winter Olympics extravaganza that nobody watches anymore because all they do is talk and they don't show any of the competition anymore. She was supposed to do the Olympics and now she's not going to. And that couldn't be it. It couldn't be anything about the Olympics. Could it be because she's married to Michael Feldman? Well, who's Michael Feldman, you say? Ha ha! Michael Feldman is a Clintonista. He was in the Clinton White House, and he now has a Democratic consulting firm. No, what they do is they scrub the internet of any stories that are unfavorable to the Clintons. Go try to find Clinton body count. Search for Clinton body count. You're not going to find a lot of the stories that were there a few years ago because they're gone because they were scrubbed by Michael Feldman's company, allegedly. And why would Michael Feldman being married to Savannah Guthrie result in Savannah Guthrie's mother being kidnapped, it looks like? Well, has Savannah been a naughty girl? Has she not done what she's supposed to have done? Has Michael been a naughty boy? Has he not done what he was supposed to have done? Because now the Clintons are going to testify. They defied a congressional subpoena thinking they could get away with it, just like Eric Holder got away with it. Although I don't seem to recall Steve Bannon and the others getting away with invoking executive privilege. Funny how that works. So the Clintons discovered that nobody in the Democrat Party is going to cover for them and prevent them from being criminally referred to the Department of Justice. So they said, okay, we'll come in and testify. And Hillary said, but I'm not sitting next to Bill. You can't put me next to him. And Bill's probably happy because she smells like boiled cabbage that 3 people told me independently. They don't know each other. I say, so Hillary, you met her? Oh, yeah. What was she like? Oh, she smells like boiled cabbage. They all said boiled cabbage. It was great. They're not going to sit together. And look, if I were married to Bill Clinton, I would be pretty upset with him, too. And if I were married to Hillary and I had the morals of an alley cat, well, things are going to happen, right? They need to be held to account. They need to be held to account for the emails. They need to be held to account for Benghazi. They need to be held to account for Russiagate. They need to be held to account for every crime that they've committed. And quite frankly, I'm in the Al Capone camp right now. I don't care how they get them, as long as they get them. Get them for tax evasion like they got Capone. I don't care. Capone was never convicted of murder. He was never convicted of racketeering. Didn't matter. He still went to prison. Same thing with the Clintons. I don't care if they get convicted for the body count or the emails or Russiagate. I just want them in prison where they belong. And it's not a revenge thing. It's not a retribution thing. It's not an attacking your political enemies thing. No, it's a justice thing. They're criminals, and they need to spend some time cooling their heels behind bars. So did Michael Feldman maybe not do something he was supposed to do? And is that why Savannah Guthrie's mother looks like kidnapped? I don't know. This is the weirdest story I've ever seen in 50 years of following politics. So time will tell, as we say. Here's another thing I didn't have on my bingo card, and that's Lindsey Vonn. Lindsey Vonn is going to compete at the Winter Olympics, held in Milano, with the Alpine events and the Nordic events being held in Cortina d'Ampezzo. Lindsey Vonn just tore her ACL last week. She's in the last race, and she's just had an amazing, dominating season at the age of, 41, 42, with titanium knee. She had a spill. She came over a rise, caught a little air, got off balance, came down, tried to pull it back, almost pulled it back before she dumped into the back seat and slid backwards into the netting. And during all that, she tore her ACL. She's going to ski with a torn ACL. They've apparently cleared her to use a titanium knee brace, and God love her. And who knows if she's going to win. Right now, the expectations are if she finishes the race, it's going to be amazing. And she said as much. She said, I don't know what the results are going to be. The results are going to be what the results are going to be. But I have to compete. And you have to love that American grit. And she's just fantastic. And we're all hoping that not only does she finish the race, but it would be so amazing. You know, we Americans typically don't think that much of a bronze medal when most of the countries in the world would give their eye teeth to have one of their Olympians win a bronze medal. In this case, a bronze medal would be worth 9 gold medals. I mean, she's just unbelievable. And I think it will be a gold medal performance if she simply finishes the race. But knowing Lindsay, she's not going to simply finish the race. She's not going to ski down slowly just to say that she competed in the women's downhill. No, she will be going all out the way she always goes all out. And it's just magnificent to watch. It's truly a thing of wonder. Another thing of wonder, and another story I didn't have on my bingo card, Scott Bessent and Nicki Minaj becoming pals. Doing a video standing back to back to advertise the Trump savings accounts, and Nicki doing a cover of her Bees in the Trap. And Scott standing there grinning. It's a great video. And it's just so much fun. First of all, it's amazing that Nicki Minaj, the scales fell from her eyes, and she now realizes that this is America versus tyranny. I think Nicki Minaj and Pitbull both, they're now in with Tom McDonald in the pro-America camp. We saw the Grammys irrelevant the other night. And good on Jelly Roll. Somebody asked, Billie Eilish spoke about the fascism that's going on in this country. Would you like to comment on the state of affairs in this country? And Jelly Roll said, well, I'm glad you asked that because I think everybody needs to know my opinion on this. My opinion is that you shouldn't want my opinion because I'm just a redneck. I never paid attention to politics. I came up from a drug addict house. It was pure chaos. You think we were sitting around talking geopolitics? You shouldn't care in the least what I think about anything political. Jelly Roll, good on you. That's exactly it. Shut up and sing. Laura Ingraham said it 20 years ago. These virtue signaling losers need to just pipe down, entertain us, dance monkey dance. And Bill Maher is another one that's awakened. Bill's not MAGA. Bill is an old school liberal. I have absolutely no problems with Bill Maher. I can do business with Bill Maher. We agree on the America we want to see. We might disagree on how to get there, but he wants an America where free speech reigns. So do I. I want an America where people have civil liberties, and so does he. But we both want strong borders. We both want the country to be fiscally solvent. We both want people not raiding the treasury. We both want Islam not being a factor in our political life. So if you're not following Bill Maher, give him a look. He had a great take.
I hope I didn't spoil the perfect record of pins and ribbons solving all the world's problems. I mean, you can't name a problem from guns to AIDS to bullying to breast cancer that still exists after people wore a ribbon for it. Except all of them. 3 years ago, everybody was all into Ukrainian flags. What happened to that? Another cause tossed into the junk drawer.
People were all upset that he didn't participate in Grammy's activism. He said, what Grammy's activism? Putting on a stupid pin? Do you think the pin is going to change anything? Like any of those other ribbons you wore over the years are going to change anything? Where's your Ukrainian flag? It's in the junk drawer along with the other ribbons, said Maher. It was a great take, and Bill Maher's a great American. I'd love to sit down and have a cigar and a bourbon with him. I think it was great that the president invited him to the White House. I have an open invitation I'll issue right now to Bill Maher to go down to my local, run by my buddy, and I'll stand you to a great cigar and a nice bourbon or two, or maybe even three. All right, that's it for today's Ohio Political News Morning Update. I'm Timothy Shea. Until next time, God bless you. God bless these United States. Keep fighting the good fight.